Hi Akash, how are you?
Hi, Shaurya. I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Doing good as well. Congratulations on your score 740. That's quite something.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm very
Uh,
excited about
Akash, could you just begin by introducing yourself to us?
it. Okay. So I'll start with my full name, right? It's Aakash Tiger. I'm not sure if you know it or not. So I'm currently working with MetLife, which is based in Noida, and I have a total of around 4.5, like 4 years, 8 months of experience as of now. And I am working in the IT audit department. Not sure a lot of people know about it, but in audit there are like different functions, and that there is an IT audit department. So prior to MetLife, I have worked with Ernst Young and Deloitte, two of the big fours. So I would say overall, like my work, I have a good work experience working in big fours that adds to my profile, all these things. And again, MetLife is a Fortune 500 company, so that also boosts my profile. Uh, Talking about my college, I did my graduation from Delhi College of Engineering. I guess you have heard of it, hopefully. So and apart from that, I've been, quite enthusiastic about starting my own business. So till now, I have done three failed attempts of like I started three different ones, tried to start three different companies, but failed at all of them. So maybe someday, one day.
I'm sure the next one will be a success. So, how did you go about like deciding on that now is the time that you need to pursue an MBA, take GMAT?
So basically, like as I said, like I've done three attempts, right? So to start a company. So at times, so one major issue I have faced is, the partners leave, the partners I've had, they leave, like if they don't share the same passion. It's like, at a certain point of time, you have to decide if you either you have to earn money or maybe, put your heart and soul into what you're trying to do. So it's like, in all the three attempts that I tried, my partners left because we were not making money. But obviously, I understand that it takes money, it takes time and efforts to do that. So one reason is to find people, similar kind of people with similar mindset. Because I know good colleges definitely generate a lot of startups. People from good universities across the globe end up starting their own companies. Like I have gone through the stats. A lot of colleges say like 25% of the people who were there have their own organizations as of now. So that is my, you can say, my main motive right now. Uh, let's see where the journey goes.
So, basically, networking is a big reason that you want to pursue an
You
MBA.
can say yes, yes, right.
Finding the right peer set who can really just be as committed to the cause as you are.
Yes, yes.
All right. So once you decided that you want to do an MBA now, what brought you to Jamboree? How did you go? Why did you enroll with Jamboree for your GMAT preparation?
So I've been trying. So last year also I thought of going for GMAT, but I didn't because at that time I was not sure if I should go for an MBA or not. It was quite dicey because it's a huge investment, and so so at that time, like one of my friends, my college friends, he took the classes from Jamboree. He scored 700, right? So I would say that was he's the only person whom I know has given GMAT. So I contacted him and asked him like, is Jamboree good or not? He said, yeah, it's good. You can take the classes from there. So that's how I enrolled for Jamboree.
How was your experience with Jamboree once you joined?
Experience was pretty good. Like Mani sir, Mani sir was teaching quants and Sri sir was teaching verbal. So the way Sri sir used to teach, it was quite good, taught all the tips and tricks, not necessarily focused on the grammar part of it, but whatever was necessary for the exam, basically. And same goes for quants. We, particularly stick to what is required for GMAT and not, uh, and we were not taught things that were not basically required or won't come in the exam. And uh, doing the questions in the classes, like the QH part, which I guess it's QH, right, which you do in the classes, right, of the Jambore books. And then on a daily basis, we used to get homeworks, So if someone follows that entire routine properly, I would say that that person should be able to, grasp everything as the classes proceed, and then maybe, put in like 1 month of efforts more, and should be able to get through.
So you say 1 month of efforts more. What is that 1 month for?
So after the classes got over, the first thing I did was, I revised all the concepts, basically went through all the questions again. I won't say that I solved all of them for quants, but I just skimmed through them. Whatever I found difficult, I solved those questions. For verbal, I definitely went through all the 10 exercises, like all the questions for RC, CR, and SC. And then after I was done with that, I started with, I gave those, there are 2 exams, right, that you take to basically decide if you have, like, if you can take the next step. I'm not sure what those exams are called, like practice exams or whatever it was. So I
Mock
took those,
tests.
not exactly mock tests, but basically there were 2 separate tests, basically, one for verbal, one for quant, each had like 30 odd questions or somewhere around that, similar to a GMAT format. So I did not score a good, I did not get good number of questions correct in those exams, but I got the questions I got correct were good. Was calling you.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Okay. Okay, so I got a decent number of questions correct in both the exams. So as as suggested by both Mani and Sri sir, I started with book 2. So, and I did not do any of the practice from the books, the hard copies, because I was sure that I'm going to take the exam from home. So, and it's going to be totally computer based. So I need to only practice from my system, right? So, starting with book 2, I started the topic wise questions from Jamboree's portal, and the benefit was, they had a timer, each of those practice sets. If I would have done from the book, I would say that I would have been, focused on time particularly. So that was an add-on, and it took me, I would say, like 15 days or around 15 days or somewhere around that to basically complete all those practice sets. And uh, quant, I was pretty good at quant from the very beginning, so that was not a challenge. But verbal, when I started the book 2, the questions were of a higher level in book 2. But gradually, as I went on doing the practice sets, and so there were like around 25 practice sets. So by the end of, by like around 15th or 14th or 15th, I was able to get like 90% of the questions correct. So that consistency kept on till the last set. So when I completed all the practice sets, I did not do any mock test from Jimbori. I was tired of studying. So I just purchased that MBA.com official mock tests. I gave one, and I got 760, I guess, in that. And I was like, yeah, I'll go for GMAT. And for like next to next day, I booked the exam. And
So the practice sets you talk about was so you went through the subject specific practice sets or on Jamboree Online,
yes, yes.
and that was that was quite handy for your preparation.
Yes, because initially, when I started, sorry, when I started practicing from the online platform, let's say, for example, all the SC practice sets used to have 20 questions in 20 minutes. I was, for the first 3, 4, I was just able to do like 12, 13, or somewhere around that. But gradually, my speed increased, my accuracy increased. So that helped. If I would have done it, without a timer or only from a book or just a PDF, I guess I wouldn't have been able to achieve doing like 20 questions in 20 minutes. That's it.
Sounds great. So so how was your experience giving it at home, giving GMAT at home?
Uh, so experience, I would say I have done a couple of certifications during this entire lockdown period. So I was quite used to this method of giving exams, like how it's gonna be. There will be a proctor and all that. But it was a little different from other exams. Reason being, there was so like in the other exams that I gave, you have to basically take your laptop and rotate it 360 degrees under the table, above the table, and everywhere, and show what's there and what's not. But in this for GMAT, it started with you taking the pictures of the entire room and then uploading it to a link that you get, and after that you just start the exam, and yeah, you need to have your table like totally clear, like there should be nothing on the table, uh, and you can either use a whiteboard, place it behind you, or you can use the whiteboard on the laptop. So I did not use the whiteboard on the system, or a physical whiteboard. I did not use either of the two. Reason being, so when I was practicing quant, as I said that I was already good with quant. So when I was practicing quant, I tried to avoid solving questions on paper. So, and I feel that I was able to do more or less every question, by solving it in my brain, in my head. So during the exam, I hardly felt the need to use a whiteboard uh, to solve any of the questions. So yeah, so that is possible. I would
So,
say that is very much possible.
so the option that they gave you, if you wanted to write, was one, there was a whiteboard on your screen,
Yeah,
and secondly, there was a physical whiteboard
you
behind you,
can, yes, you can
and
use that.
every time you want to solve a question, you have to turn back and solve it,
Right. Yes,
which
that is
might
time
not
consuming.
it's
Yes,
not
that
be
is time.
very convenient and
Yes.
very time efficient.
So yeah, that I wanted to avoid that. That's why I avoided using a whiteboard. Like
You're not allowed to have any physical whiteboard
no,
or any
no.
sort of thing right here that you can write on.
Whatever is there, it should be in front of the camera. You cannot like put down a paper and then. So if I would have used a whiteboard, then every time I have to turn and then solve it. Maybe like I was not okay with using a whiteboard on the system because I know that it would have taken me a lot of time, like solving questions like that. So that's why I used to practice, by solving within the head, and I was like, by the time I gave the exam, I was pretty comfortable with that. So that is.
All right. And you of course do not have the facility to right now give it offline, give the GMAT offline.
There, I guess there is like test centers are open. I'm not sure. I didn't check.
Okay.
And yeah, one more benefit was I did not practice for AWA, so I wanted to avoid that also. Like, so if I would have, gone for a test center based exam, I would have to write that essay also. So that I could skip to the online one, and the score would be, the score was also applicable everywhere. So it was a win-win situation.
So yeah, quite a few positive and negatives on either end.
Yes.
Uh, and now moving forward, what all colleges do you plan to apply to?
So that's something I'm really confused about myself. So I in the last 3-4 days, that's what mainly I've been working on. So I've been able to shortlist a few. So HEC Paris is definitely one because I'm not sure, but there has been something. I always felt like I want to go to this college. I feel like that you want to attend. Maybe someone feels like I want to go to Harvard. So HEC Paris has been like from my college days. It has been like someday I want to go to HEC Paris. I don't know why, but that has been there. So HEC Paris I'm definitely applying to. I started the process. After that, LBS is there, which I'll apply to later. IESC and Cambridge. So these four. Apart from that, I'll be applying to ISB and IMA also. So these six are like definitely I'm applying to. But I'll be applying to, as a backup, I'll be applying to a few more colleges. Like I'm not sure. I have not decided on them. But yeah, I'll keep like 3-4 more colleges. Like in total, I have decided to apply for 10 colleges, but 6 I have finalized. I'm not applying to US, so I'm gonna keep my region restricted to either Europe or India.
That sounds like you have actually given it a lot of thought.
Yeah, I decided not to go for US. Many factors. One is it's a 2-year MBA. Plus the investment is huge. Any of the colleges you take, if you take the full tuition fees, I know people get scholarships there, but if you take the full tuition fees, it ends up to be around 1.6 CR plus expenses like living fees. So it would go up to like 2 crores. I can't finance that. That's huge. Secondly, the job situation in US, I'm not certain of that. What will happen in the future from being there? So that's why I've decided not to go for US.
Have you also thought of what particular specialization do you want for your MBA?
Yes, I have given it a thought, and I feel if I go. So the first, as I said, the first preference is maybe end up doing a startup and opening a company. That is definitely my first priority. Given that this does not happen, second choice is going to be consulting. The reason being, I come from an audit background, so I feel that consulting is more or less similar to what I'm doing right now, and my current profession will definitely help me. You know, will benefit me in consulting. So
Okay, that was quite the whole your whole experience and your plans seem to be quite online, and I'm sure it will be very insightful for everyone who watches this. Thank you so much, Akash. Thank you for joining us. It was so nice having you. Thank you.
thank you. Have a good day.
You too.